Hi and welcome to video 4 of the case study that we're conducting on Duper.co as we build a website out real time and take you along the journey to basically illustrate for you why we're doing specific things as we do them. So basically where we've gotten to now is that I've provided a brief to the development team who have then gone away and created or basically implemented a design based on the principles provided, and I'll take you straight there to go through it. Here we are. So here we are at Duper.co. What we've got here is basically the template and a number of feature pages to illustrate the design as the developers had intended it. And some of the design brief components that we provided, just to give you an insight, is that I wanted an earthy feel. It needed to be a clean, modern design. It needed to have intuitive navigation and be very simple to use. So essentially what I wanted to do is take away the reasons people wouldn't use the site and remove as many barriers as possible to purchase. So making it simple and easy to navigate, I believe achieves a lot of that, as we get to it, integration with trustworthy and known merchants, for example. So basically, going through the site, we've obviously implemented the logo design at the top. We've have a concept of a shopping bag as opposed to a cart. The reason for that is that I believe that, like, if you went into a bazaar and you bought incense from a local trader or a merchant, especially if you went overseas and you got it in Asia, for example, I wouldn't expect that you'd go to a shopping cart. You know, I just think the terminology doesn't match up with the experience. You would more likely walk out with possibly a paper bag or a plastic bag with your incense inside it. So I wanted to make it a little bit more authentic in the way it feels and its terminology. So shopping bag it is. I also wanted to incorporate the Sanskrit lettering for the word duper, basically bringing it back to the roots of where the name comes from, the fact that duper is the Sanskrit word for incense. So we've incorporated that as our home button and with sub-navigation underneath. So get in touch, the traditional contact page. Journal will basically be the Duper blog, and cause will basically be the information and our ties to our cause, which will be Charity Water. Now, when we went through the business video 2 videos ago, one of the key things that was in the competition analysis was some pretty awful looking websites, to be frank. Messy navigation, the websites look dated, not modern at all. They didn't look like they were cared for, essentially. And it's like going into a shop that hasn't been maintained since the 1970s. It feels yucky to be there, and I especially, in terms of the way I feel about it, and I just want to make it easy for other people to relate to this service as well. When you walk into something like that in the real world, in the context of bricks and mortar, you would leave. You wouldn't hang around unless they were the only person selling it. So in this instance, I wanted to make sure that, given the fact that the web has a number of places that you can buy some of these products, but certainly not one place for all of them to date that I've found at least, I wanted to make sure it was as pleasant as experience as possible. So getting back to the design principles, messy navigation in the competition sites, as I illustrated or I was talking to before, I wanted to make this clean and easy to use. So basically, you've got your incense sticks, incense cones, single, so things like sandalwood as the only ingredient in the incense itself, blends, obviously where there's more than one, and accessories, things like your holders, charcoal, tongs, for example, and a few other bits and pieces that are used around incense. This slider basically will have information, nice imagery, that type of thing, but these will be navigational points to usable content. And I deliberately wanted a content pane underneath. The reason why is that this pane won't actually be used for text as it is today. It's at the moment, the text is just there as sample font, the developer's illustrating the font selected and the font sizes for the style sheet as an example. What I intend to use it for, though, is essentially a video. It'll be basically a pane that's hosting a welcome video and a bit of a walkthrough. Here's what we're about and what the site's got to offer. Basically, a nice greeting to the website. It'll be not played on load, that way giving people a choice as to whether they want to load it or not. or watch it or not. Underneath that, we've got featured products. Now, these are just example products, just something to view in the spaces. So basically we'll be redoing imagery for our own, but for the point of this, we've got featured products, which then take us into the deep product detail pages. So again, nice, clean, simple design. I would say simple with the exception of this. It's a bit cluttered, but this is just a widget that can be configured pretty simply without any development code. And one of the beautiful things about developing on a WordPress/Genesis framework is that you get a nice, easy to maintain website. And as we've used here, we're testing out the WooCommerce plugin functionality for the e-commerce side of the website. So again, clean, big photo, something that I absolutely wanted is nice, easy images to look at. Product selection, add to cart. So we'll be fixing this terminology. We'll add to bag or something like that to tie in with the shopping bag features. So something to work on for the next iteration. Clear tags for easy searching. So something else that's highly desirable, and then the product description, which at the moment is minimalistic. We'll be completing this out and giving a level of detail around our products that we'll sell. Reviews. Well, this deliberately doesn't have any review content. Obviously, this is an internal feature. Another review option would be to use a social media style plugin where people could review a product and appear in the Facebook feed or something like that. At the moment, I don't intend to do that. I'll leave the reviews as internal features of the website. As for social media, we'll get to in a couple of minutes. Let's just finish this off. So related products is another thing that I wanted to have. So basically things that are specifically related to the product in view. At the moment, it's not configured. It's just showing up a few default products just for examples. So the add to cart functionality, again, nice and simple. Add to cart, so again, terminology will fix, and easy to process. So something that I do like is that when you're in the actual site and you add a product to cart, as I just had, so I had this sandalwood product, you're left in the shop. You're not dragged directly off to the shopping cart. You actually saw that there was a preloaded bit and navigated back. QuickSmart. It's another thing that I'll be asking the developers to address, is to not have that flicker effect happen. But basically with this, you've got you have the ability to continue shopping. There's a clean navigation item to go off to the shopping bag or shopping cart in this instance, or you can come up here and see what's in your bag. You can even view the cart from this point to go off to the cart page to easily remove items. No mess, no fuss, no difficult things to try and navigate around. It's fulfilling exactly what I wanted. So again, some navigation items required around VAT. This is an Australian product. We have GST, not VAT. That's an English thing. So we'll be fixing that. And then proceed to checkout. Nice and simple. So fill out some details and end up paying. Nice and simple. So getting on to so just finishing off the page. These footer widgets basically will be used for additional content. So basically navigation items at the bottom of the page to provide additional functionality and opportunity for more detail. Now, site in general, social media. You'll notice that one obvious thing is that there's no social media on the site. I do plan on incorporating social media, but it won't be as you've seen in a number of sites. For example, there won't be buttons here to navigate people off to Facebook, Twitter, or anywhere else. The reason for that is that hard-earned traffic coming to the site, I don't want to get distracted off to a social media page. Social media pages such as Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, they don't lack traffic on their own. They don't need my hard-earned traffic running off to them. What I do need, though, from a business point of view, is to ensure that the traffic that I do win and attain is focused or is here and is left to do the things that they're focused to be here for. So I don't want the distraction of Facebook and all the rest of it off the website. There will be the ability to like products, but not necessarily the website at this stage. I'll be testing that through as we develop the site out. But one of the key things that I think a lot of businesses make the error of is having like a big Facebook button to like our page, and then you find yourself in a Facebook page, not necessarily on the site that you navigated to in the first place. And I think a lot of businesses get hurt by that because they've lost a visitor, essentially. They then fall into their Facebook feed or Twitter stream or whatever other bit of functionality you want to talk about, and they're no longer on your site. They've lost the focus of that person, which to me is a big mistake. So what we will be doing from a social media point of view is in the product pages, we will be having the ability to like a product, to tweet about a product, but the user will be left on the page. It'll be something that happens via a discrete piece of functionality, but the person can buy something, they can like it before they click to add to cart, or they can like it after they've added to cart because they're left on the product page, but they won't be navigated away. We will be using it as social media as a driving point. The key ones that we'll be looking to add is, the obvious ones are really Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest are the big three that are in my mind at the moment. Google Plus I will be adding as well, of course, so people can plus items. Not that I think that's intuitive, but there are some users out there for Google Plus, and it's more by necessity, really, in the context of good rankings in Google these days require Google Plus integration. So people will or won't use it at their leisure. It's just there. So basically, that's a quick walkthrough of the design as it is to date. And what I'll be doing now, the next steps are, of course, adding content. The functionality is there. It's time to now start amping up and putting all the products up, defining the price points, and basically start putting the content on the page. So once we've got the site ready to launch, we'll walk through Duper again just to illustrate how far we've come and why we've done specific things in accordance to our marketing plan, and we'll take it from there. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. I hope you got something out of it, and speak to you soon. Cheers for now.